Imagine this. You're standing in the pouring rain outside her apartment at 2 a.m., phone in one hand, heart in the other, voice cracking as you beg her to open the door just one more time. Please, you whisper into the voicemail for the 20th time. Don't do this to us. I'll change. I'll fix everything. Just give me one chance. The rain mixes with tears you swear you're not crying. Hours later, the door stays shut. She blocks you everywhere. You feel like the world has ended. Now picture someone else in almost the exact same moment. Same heartbreak, same loss. But instead of calling, texting, showing up uninvited, or pouring out every desperate word, they do nothing. They go home. They sit in the quiet. They let the silence swallow the urge to beg. Days turn into weeks. No messages, no explanations, just absence. And then something strange happens. The very person who walked away starts reaching out.
First a casual hey, then a longer message, then a desperate call at midnight asking why you disappeared. The tables don't just turn, they flip completely. That's the crazy, almost unfair power I'm talking about today. Silence isn't weakness. It's not giving up. It's the ultimate flex. The quiet force that makes begging look like a child throwing a tantrum in the grocery store. And by the end of this story we're about to live through together, you're going to feel it in your bones. Why choosing silence over begging can literally rewrite your entire life. Your relationships, your career, your self-worth, even the way the world sees you. Stick with me, because this isn't some dry lecture. This is the raw, real journey of people just like you and me, who learned the hard way that words can destroy you, but the right kind of silence can rebuild everything, stronger than before.
Let's meet Alex. Ordinary guy, mid-30s, decent job in marketing. The kind of man who always believed that if you just explained yourself enough, loved hard enough, fought hard enough, people would eventually come around. That belief almost destroyed him. It started with Mia. They'd been together 3 years. She was the one who made him feel alive. The late-night talks, the inside jokes, the way she looked at him like he was the only person in the room. Then one ordinary Tuesday, she sat him down and said the words that hit like a truck. I think we need space. Not a full breakup, but the kind of vague space that really means I'm checking out and seeing if I miss you. Alex panicked. He did what most of us do. He begged. He listed every reason they were perfect together. He promised to be more attentive, less busy at work, more romantic. He sent flowers, long voice notes, showed up at her favorite cafe with her favorite coffee. For 2 weeks straight, he turned into a one-man campaign trying to win her back.
The more he begged, the further she pulled away. Her replies got shorter, her thank yous colder. Until one day, she texted the words that still sting him. You're making this so much harder than it needs to be. Then, silence from her side. Complete radio silence. Alex was left replaying every desperate moment, feeling smaller than he'd ever felt in his life. Across town, his old college friend Sarah was going through almost the identical situation with her boyfriend of 4 years. He dropped the same space bomb. But Sarah didn't chase. She didn't call. She didn't explain or promise or cry on the phone. She simply said, I understand, hugged him once, and walked out. Then she went dark. No social media stories hinting at her pain. No mutual friends checking in on her behalf. She focused on her own life. Gym, new project at work, nights out with friends where she actually laughed instead of forcing it.
3 weeks later, her ex was the one blowing up her phone. I made a mistake. I miss you more than I thought possible. Can we talk? Sarah didn't reply right away. When she finally did, it was short and calm. I'm doing okay. If you want to talk properly, let's meet next week. He showed up early, nervous, almost pleading. The power had completely shifted.
She didn't beg. She didn't need to. Her silence had done the talking for her. Alex watched all this from the sidelines, and it confused the hell out of him. How could the same situation produce two completely opposite results? He started digging into his own life, looking back at every time he'd begged, for a promotion he didn't get, for friends who ghosted him, even for his parents' approval growing up. Every single time, the begging had made things worse. Every single time someone else had chosen silence instead, they somehow came out on top. That's when the real story of Alex's transformation began. And it's the same story that's about to unfold for you if you keep listening. Because this isn't just about one breakup or one job. This is about the hidden mechanics of human psychology that most of us never learn until it's too late. See, when you beg, you're handing over your power on a silver platter. You're telling the other person, loud and clear, I need you more than you need me. That single message changes everything. Psychologically, it triggers what experts call reactance, the natural human resistance to feeling controlled or smothered. The more you push, the more they pull away. Not because they don't care, but because your begging makes them feel trapped. Silence does the opposite. It creates a vacuum. And nature and people hate a vacuum. They feel compelled to fill it. Suddenly, they're the ones wondering, worrying, chasing. Your absence becomes the loudest statement you could ever make.
Alex started experimenting with this in small ways first. At work, his boss had been riding him hard about a campaign that wasn't performing. In the past, Alex would have sent 3 emails explaining why the numbers were down, begging for more time and resources. This time, he stayed quiet. He worked harder in the background, fixed what he could, and when the next meeting came, he simply presented the improved results without excuses. His boss leaned forward, actually surprised. "You've been quiet lately. What changed?" Alex just smiled and said, "I've been focusing on solutions." That one calm sentence landed harder than any desperate pitch ever could. He got the extra budget and the respect that came with it.
The same principle worked in friendships. An old buddy had been flaky, canceling plans last minute, never following through. Alex used to text paragraphs. "Dude, what's going on? I feel like I'm always the one reaching out." This time, he stopped reaching. He lived his life. 2 months later, the friend called out of the blue. "Man, I miss our hangs. I've been in a weird headspace. You free this weekend?" The silence had spoken volumes about Alex's self-respect. People respect those who respect themselves enough not to chase. But the deepest shift happened inside Alex's own head. That's where the real battle is fought. The constant inner voice that whispers, if you don't say something right now, you'll lose everything. Begging is often just fear wearing a mask of love or effort. Silence is courage. It's trusting that your worth doesn't need constant proof. Alex started practicing what the Stoics called the discipline of silence. He'd sit in the quiet every morning for 10 minutes with no phone, no music, just his thoughts. At first, it felt unbearable. The urge to text Mia, to explain himself one more time, was almost physical. But he sat with it, and something magical happened. The noise in his head quieted. Clarity came rushing in. He realized he had been begging not just for her love, but for validation, that he was enough. When the silence stripped that need away, months later, Mia reached out. Not with an apology or a grand gesture, but with a simple, "I've been thinking about you." Alex didn't jump. He didn't pour his heart out. He replied calmly, met her for coffee, and listened more than he spoke. She talked for an hour about how hard it had been without him, how she missed the stability he brought, how his sudden disappearance had made her question everything. For the first time, she was the one trying to win him back. Alex didn't beg. He didn't need to. His silence had already done the work. This isn't some fairy tale. This pattern repeats in every area of life if you pay attention. Think about the greatest leaders, the most magnetic people you know. They don't overshare. They don't explain themselves into exhaustion. They speak when it matters,
and let silence do the heavy lifting the rest of the time. History is full of quiet power. Leaders who stepped back and let their actions speak louder than any speech.
Negotiators who let the other side fill the awkward pause and end up giving away more than they intended. Parents who stop lecturing their rebellious teen and simply live their own values. The kid eventually comes around because the silence forces reflection instead of rebellion. In relationships especially, begging is the fastest way to kill attraction. Love thrives on respect, and respect dies when someone sees you groveling. Scarcity creates value. When you're always available, always explaining, always chasing, you become ordinary. When you step back into silence, you become rare. People don't chase what's common. They chase what feels just out of reach. Alex's story didn't end with getting Mia back. In many ways, that wasn't even the point anymore. The real victory was the man he became in the process. Calmer, stronger, more in control of his own emotions. He started noticing how often people around him were begging without realizing it. The colleague who over-explained every mistake in meetings. The friend who posted passive-aggressive stories hoping for attention. The family member who guilt-tripped everyone into visiting. He saw the pattern everywhere and chose differently. One of the most powerful moments came during a family crisis. His younger brother was spiraling. Drugs, bad relationships, constant drama. Their parents begged him to change, lectured him daily, offered money with strings attached. Alex did nothing. He just listened, and when he was done, he said nothing. His brother was in control. He had to figure it out. His parents were advised, moved, worried. His brother also figured it out. A few months later, his brother called him alone. Alex had to rewrite the whole story. He wasn't trying to save him. He was trying to be there. To be there, he had to be strong. He didn't need his brother to thank him. He just needed to be there. It only made him pull away harder. Alex did something different. He showed up one evening, sat with his brother in complete silence for a long time, then simply said, "I'm here when you're ready to get real help. No judgment, no lectures, but I'm not going to watch you destroy yourself." Then he left. No follow-up texts, no daily check-ins, just that one calm boundary wrapped in silence. 6 weeks later, his brother called. Not for money or a bailout, but for real help. "I don't know why, but your silence hit me harder than all the yelling," he admitted later. That's the power we're talking about.
Now let's get practical, because understanding this is one thing. Living it is another. How do you actually choose silence when every instinct screams at you to speak, to explain, to beg? It starts with catching yourself in the moment. That urge to send the long paragraph text after an argument? Pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, will these words change anything? Or am I just trying to control how they feel about me? Most times, the answer is the second one. Delete the draft. Go do something that reminds you of your own worth instead.
In negotiations, at work, in salary talks, even buying a car, make your offer or state your position clearly. Then, shut up. Let the silence do its job. The other person will feel the pressure to fill it, often by improving their offer or revealing more information. Studies on negotiation psychology back this up again and again. Brief moments of silence lead to better outcomes for everyone because they force deeper thinking instead of reactive arguing. In dating or marriage, when things feel off, resist the urge to demand answers or over-communicate your feelings. State what you need once, calmly, then give space. The right person will rise to meet you. The wrong one will reveal themselves by staying distant. Either way, you win, because you're no longer tying your peace to their response. The biggest transformation, though, is internal. Silence isn't just external. It's learning to quiet the inner beggar,
That voice that says you're not enough unless someone else confirms it. Meditation helps. Journaling helps. So does surrounding yourself with people who model quiet strength instead of dramatic neediness. Over time, you start to feel the shift. You walk into rooms differently. You hold eye contact longer. You don't rush to fill every pause in conversation because you're comfortable in your own skin.
Alex is living proof. Today, he runs his own small agency. His team respects him not because he yells the loudest, but because he listens the most. His relationship with Mia evolved into something healthier. They're back together, but on new terms. Terms built on mutual respect instead of desperation. More importantly, Alex no longer fears silence. He embraces it as his greatest ally. You've probably felt that fear yourself. The knot in your stomach when someone pulls away and every cell in your body wants to chase, explain, beg. That fear is normal, but it's also the exact moment where power is born. The moment you choose silence instead is the moment you choose yourself. And when you choose yourself unapologetically, the world starts choosing you back in ways begging could never achieve. Think about the last time you begged for something. Attention, love, respect, opportunity. How did it feel afterward? Empty, right? Now imagine the alternative. The quiet dignity of walking away with your head high. The calm confidence of knowing your value doesn't need to be proven in words. The magnetic pull that silence creates when people realize you're not waiting around desperately. That version of you is already inside. You don't need permission to become it. You just need to stop talking long enough to let it breathe. So here's my challenge to you right now, wherever you are, listening in your car, at the gym, late at night when sleep won't come because your mind is racing with all the things you want to say to that one person. Close this video for a second if you need to. Take a deep breath. Feel the urge rising in your chest to reach out, to fix it, to make them understand. And instead of acting on it, do nothing. Just sit with it. Let the silence wrap around you like armor. Because in that quiet space, something powerful is happening. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't need to beg for a seat at the table. You become the table. Alex learned this the hard way. Sarah lived it naturally. Countless others throughout history and in everyday life have proven it true. Now it's your turn. The next time life tests you, and it will, you'll have a choice. Beg and watch doors close, or stay silent and watch them swing wide open in ways you never imagined.
The power has always been yours. It was never in the words you said. It was in the ones you finally learned not to say. And that, my friend, is why silence will always be more powerful than begging.